all of these things that I do amplified this in a way. The actor, the writer, the songwriter, the movie writer, the, producer, the choreographer, the dancer. Yeah. I think for the first time I was like, no, I'm going to take all of the things I do and put them all on this.
So if you don't have what they need, they're going to leave.
Right.
Got to keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose.
I'm sure most of you know that name, and I'm sure in recent times you've at least heard a little bit about the awful things he is accused of. P. Diddy has been a huge individual in the music industry for decades now, and with a lot of new information coming to light about his past as well as what he's been doing behind the scenes, a lot of people are comparing him to the Harvey Weinstein or the Epstein of the music industry.
How do you carry on his legacy?
I wanted to make sure that this dream meant something at the end of the day, because this young man lost his life throughout this journey. My daughters, not that I know of, I've scrubbed all their socials. They do not have boyfriends, but they did ask me this weekend, could 2 boys come over, the twins, and I told them no. That's great. And as I'm building up my leverage and I'm, building my team, what advice would you give me on how to find the best in class?
The first thing you need to do for each job is to have a spec sheets, the specifications for that job.
So the level of greatness that you have to be to really be able to make a change and affect everything is you have to be greater than what they consider what's out there as great. So that means you have to work harder. And that's the reality. And that's the world that we're growing up in. And the only way we can change it is by embracing that.
Is Jennifer Lopez on the verge of facing her most uncomfortable controversy yet? Over the years, she's built a multifaceted empire: movies, music, fashion. But there's one chapter in her life she doesn't like to revisit: her high-profile relationship with Sean Diddy Combs. And lately, with lawsuits, investigations, and rumors of long-buried secrets swirling around him, people are asking whether J.Lo might be next in line to face serious questions. After all, she was there during some of Diddy's darkest moments. Will she manage to dodge this storm the way she has in the past? Or is there a chance that what happened decades ago could come back to haunt her today? In this video, we're diving deep into the tangled web of J.Lo and Diddy, the rumors, the controversies, the tapes, and the legal troubles that seem to keep piling up. From nightclub incidents to new allegations that might rock the foundation of J.Lo's carefully curated image, this story is more complicated than anyone imagined. Let's uncover how the hottest couple of the late 90s might now find themselves on opposite sides of a brewing scandal, and why Jennifer Lopez has stayed so remarkably quiet. Section 1. The Early Days and Power Couple. Status. Long before the world was obsessed with Bennifer, Jennifer Lopez was in one of the most talked about relationships in Hollywood: her whirlwind romance with Sean Diddy Combs, then known as Puff Daddy. Back in the late 1990s, J.Lo was on the cusp of transforming from a promising actress and dancer to a global superstar. Diddy, for his part, was already a hip-hop mogul in the making, churning out hits, running Bad Boy Records, and redefining what it meant to be a flashy music executive. When they got together, the media went wild. These two were young, glamorous, and fearless. They hit the red carpets and coordinated over-the-top looks, and the paparazzi followed their every move, snapping photos of J.Lo's iconic outfits and Diddy's unapologetically lavish lifestyle. In short, they were the perfect tabloid fuel. Yet even in those early days, a murmur of drama followed them. People close to Diddy whispered that he wasn't exactly single when he started seeing J.Lo, pointing to lingering ties with model Kim Porter, someone he had been dating on and off and already shared a son with. J.Lo, for her part, appeared unfazed, or at least publicly. She beamed on red carpets, gave star-making performances, and seemed determined to be seen as half of a powerhouse duo. At the time, many fans believed Diddy and J-Lo were a match made in celebrity heaven. But beneath the glitz and glamour, red flags were quietly waving. Rumors of jealousy, partying that went too far, and infidelity loomed behind the scenes. It wouldn't be long before all that tension exploded onto the front pages. Transition, but that glittery facade was hiding a world of trouble, and the flashpoint arrived one fateful December night in 1999. Section 2, Allegations and Rumors, Tapes, Controversies, and more. Before we get to the infamous nightclub incident, let's touch on the cloud of rumors that has always seemed to follow Diddy. Over the years, there have been whisperings about secret tapes, some alleged to show unsavory activities, others rumored to involve well-known figures. One story claims there's a tape featuring Diddy and another high-profile individual engaging in behavior that could devastate reputations if ever released. Some even suggest that J-Lo was aware of more than she's let on, especially during the time they were inseparable. Then there are the bizarre allegations involving Diddy's family and personal life, rumors about father-son conflicts, and claims that his father did unspeakable things to him in the past. Much of this remains in the realm of internet chatter, but the fact these stories keep resurfacing whenever Diddy's legal troubles intensify is telling. People can't help but wonder if so many shadows from his past are popping up. Did Jennifer Lopez witness any of it firsthand? J-Lo has spent decades cultivating a pristine image. She's always the confident, vivacious star who lights up a stage and red carpet. But when Diddy's name appears in headlines for lawsuits or disturbing accusations, her name inevitably comes up too. Some folks believe J-Lo's silence is strategic, part of a well-rehearsed tactic to distance herself from any blowback. Others say she might be afraid of what could be exposed if she ever commented publicly. Transition. Rumors and speculation are one thing, but nothing compared to the real-life incident that nearly ended both their careers, almost before they began. Section 3. The infamous 1999 nightclub incident. December 27, 1999. Club New York in Manhattan. Diddy, Puff Daddy at the time, and Jennifer Lopez were out for a night of celebration. The place was packed with holiday revelers. Music was thumping, and celebrities made every corner sparkle. Then, in an instant, chaos erupted. Shots rang out, sending people diving under tables in panic. 3 clubgoers were hit by the bullets, and the aftermath was pure pandemonium. Rather than sticking around for the police, Diddy and J-Lo reportedly fled the scene in their Lincoln Navigator. A high-speed chase ensued, with law enforcement finally stopping them blocks away. Inside the vehicle, authorities allegedly found a stolen hand. That discovery led to the arrest of both Diddy and Jennifer Lopez. J-Lo's time in custody didn't last long. Investigators quickly concluded she had nothing to do with or the shooting itself. Diddy, on the other hand, was slapped with serious charges. Meanwhile, his then-protege, rapper Shine, was ultimately convicted for the shooting and served nearly a decade behind bars. Diddy faced trial but was acquitted, narrowly escaping a prison sentence that could have ended his career. This incident was a major turning point. J-Lo's image took a hit. She was suddenly no longer just the breakout star of Selena or the fresh singer behind If You Had My Love. She was also the woman photographed in a police station, caught in a scandal that had the tabloids salivating. Quickly, she distanced herself from Diddy. By 2001, they had split, with J-Lo citing the crazy lifestyle and the excessive drama as reasons for their breakup. For 2 decades, this story seemed closed, but new allegations have emerged from one of the shooting victims, who now claims that J-Lo and Diddy themselves were the ones who fired the shots. It's a staggering accusation, contradicting everything we've been told about that night. If there's any truth to it, or if it gains enough media traction, J-Lo could be pulled right back into a nightmare she tried to leave in the past. Transition. As shocking as the Club New York incident was, it was only one piece of the puzzle in understanding why J-Lo ran for the hills. and how she's managed to stay mostly untouched by Diddy's subsequent controversies until now. Section 4. Life after the split. Did J-Lo know more? When Jennifer Lopez ended her relationship with Diddy in early 2001, she wasted no time finding a fresh start. She moved on with former backup dancer Chris Judd, and they married later that same year. Their union didn't last long, but it signaled one thing clearly. J-Lo was ready to reinvent herself again. She dived into new film projects, released chart-topping albums, and kicked off an era where her name was more associated with romantic comedies and pop anthems than late-night club brawls. What's striking is how rarely she spoke about Diddy after their split. Interviewers occasionally prodded for details, but she gave careful, non-specific answers, calling that period tumultuous. She made it clear that the drama wasn't who she was at heart. Over time, as she racked up successes in music and film, the media's memory of that scandal began to fade, at least on the surface. Yet the question lingers. Did she see or hear things that went beyond a single club shooting? Diddy's circle was notorious for its wild parties, rumored entanglements, and questionable deals. As a rising star in that environment, J-Lo surely witnessed scenarios most of us can only speculate about. The fact she rarely, if ever, discusses it raises eyebrows. Is she protecting herself, or might she be protecting him or others? The J-Lo brand has become synonymous with reinvention. She's the woman who can star in a box office hit, drop a new single, then launch a fragrance all in the same year. But every so often, a whisper from the past surfaces, and the question resurfaces. How much did J-Lo really know about Diddy's dark side? Transition. And that question only gets louder when we look at the escalating legal and personal challenges Diddy has faced since their breakup. Section 5. Diddy's mounting legal woes. In the decades since J-Lo and Diddy parted ways, his legal troubles have made headlines repeatedly. There have been lawsuits from former employees alleging unfair treatment, controversies tied to artists on his Bad Boy label, and persistent chatter about deeper criminal enterprises. More recently, rumors of FBI involvement, sealed indictments, and potentially serious charges have bubbled up. Some of these claims may be exaggerated by the rumor mill, but others have real legal weight behind them. According to reports, certain investigations focus on Diddy's sprawling business dealings, the questionable fates of some who opposed him, and allegations that he manipulated or intimidated people behind the scenes. While no major conviction has stuck, the mere fact that these rumors keep appearing in court documents or media exposés is enough to make anyone connected to him uneasy. Other celebrities who once rubbed shoulders with Diddy have been quick to distance themselves. You'll see them skipping events he hosts or sidestepping questions about him during interviews. 50 Cent, who loves to troll Diddy online, has even hinted that something huge is brewing that could take Diddy down for good. And then there's J-Lo, ironically the most famous ex he's ever had, remaining almost conspicuously silent. She's still front row at fashion shows, dropping new music, and promoting movies. But regarding Diddy's ongoing controversies, not a word. That silence is deafening to some observers who think she must know enough about his operation to see the writing on the wall. Transition, but silence only works for so long, especially when you're as visible as Jennifer Lopez. And the next part of this story suggests her personal life might be feeling the tremors too. Section 6. The Ben Affleck Factor. Jennifer Lopez's on-again romance and eventual marriage with Ben Affleck has been a media sensation all its own. They first dated in the early 2000s, creating the Bennifer craze. After a very public breakup, each went on to other relationships, only to reunite nearly 2 decades later. It was a fairy tale second chance in the public eye, and fans couldn't get enough. Yet behind the bright smiles and carefully posed red carpet appearances, some have speculated that Ben is less than thrilled about J-Lo's storied past with Diddy. For someone who's famously private and has battled personal demons, including addiction, the idea of being thrust into renewed headlines about an ex's alleged criminal behavior can't be appealing. Diddy hasn't exactly helped matters. Over the years, he's made offhand comments praising J-Lo's timeless beauty, called her one of his greatest loves, and even posted old photos of them together, stirring the pot whenever the internet fixates on Bennifer's relationship. People in Ben's inner circle reportedly say he finds these stunts aggravating, though he rarely comments publicly. With the new wave of allegations against Diddy, you have to wonder if Ben has asked J-Lo some tough questions. Is there anything that could blow back on their marriage? Does she need to worry about investigators digging into that period of her life? And if so, how much should she tell him? Those are the kinds of questions that might sow tension in any relationship, especially one that has had its own set of ups and downs. Transition. It's one thing to stay silent for a while, but as more pieces of the puzzle surface, it becomes harder to simply ignore the past. Section 7. Why is J-Lo so quiet? So, why is Jennifer Lopez quiet when so many others are either condemning Diddy or scrambling to disassociate from him? The straightforward reason might be that she doesn't want to risk being tied to a massive scandal. If she publicly comments, even if just to denounce him, she opens the door for questions she might not be prepared to answer. Another angle is that J-Lo's entire career is built on a certain level of polish. She rarely gets entangled in nasty public feuds or controversies. Her brand is about empowerment, romance, and star power. Any association with serious allegations like or orchestrating violence would clash horribly with the image she's honed. Then there's the possibility she genuinely believes she has nothing to do with Diddy's current legal predicaments. If she never had direct knowledge of wrongdoing, or if she simply doesn't want to revisit old trauma, maintaining silence might feel like the safest bet. Plus, lawyers often advise celebrities to keep quiet when messy legal matters are swirling. One stray comment can lead to subpoenas or depositions, and that's the last thing she wants. But the internet never forgets. Fans and skeptics alike are digging through old interviews, tabloid stories, and photographs. They're splicing together clips of J-Lo and Diddy at events or referencing odd moments in old music videos. Sometimes the question isn't whether she's guilty of anything, it's whether she was a witness. If so, how much might she have seen? Transition. And that leads us to an even bigger question. What happens next if more details come to light about their time together? Conclusion. In the court of public opinion, silence often speaks louder than words. Jennifer Lopez has navigated the entertainment industry for decades, emerging virtually unscathed from each misstep or heartbreak. She's a master of reinvention, a performer who commands center stage, and an entrepreneur who's built an empire. But her history with Diddy is one chapter that refuses to be neatly tucked away. With lawsuits piling up against him and fresh allegations challenging the official narrative of incidents like the 1999 J-Lo's name hovers in the background, whether she likes it or not. Some say her silence is strategic, others believe she might be hiding what she truly knows. As investigators, media outlets, and the internet continue to dig, the mystery only deepens. Will Jennifer Lopez finally address the controversies head-on, or will she let her past speak for itself? Only time will tell, but one thing's certain, the world is watching. And in an era where every secret eventually finds its way online, no public figure, no matter how iconic, is immune. What do you think? Is J-Lo keeping secrets about her time with Diddy? Or is she just trying to avoid a messy situation that has nothing to do with her anymore? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this deep dive interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos curated just for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.